What's up, everybody? It's Mr. Mrdothemath here, and today we're going to talk about solving absolute value equations. We all know that the absolute value is the distance of a number from zero. That includes the negative and the positive of a number, right? So if I have the absolute value of 5, that means the distance of 5 from 0, and that distance is both the positive side and the negative side, right? And so when you have to solve an absolute value equation, you have to solve it in reference to its distance, the equation's distance from 0, which means that you have to solve it twice. That's the most important thing about solving absolute value equations. You solve the equation twice. Okay? So let's look at an example. All right? So let's look at it. Here we go. First one. The absolute value of x minus 4 equals 6. Right? So, like I said, the absolute value is the distance from 0, which means that you're going to solve x minus 4 equals 6, and you're going to solve for the negative x minus 4 equals negative 6, right? And the solutions that you get, the solutions that you get are the answers. So for this first one, it's a one-step equation. Since it's minus 4 here, you got to add 4 to get rid of the 4. And so x ends up being 10 here. And for this one, you're going to add again, right? Add 4 to both sides. Signs are different, so you subtract. So x is going to equal negative 2. So the absolute value of x minus 4 equals 6 is going to be 10 and negative 2, right? And the way you can check it is you just substitute it back in. So if I put 10 in here, I'm going to get 6. And if I put negative 2 in here, I'll get 6. All right, let's peep it. All right, so look. Absolute value of 10 minus 4, right? Absolute value of 10 minus 4 is going to be 6. The absolute value of 6 is 6, right? 6, all right? Let's look at it with negative 2. The absolute value of negative 2 minus 4 is going to be negative 2 minus 4, which is going to give you negative 6. The absolute value of negative 6 is 6, right? So your solutions are 10, negative 2. Let's look at another example. What if we got the absolute value of 3x plus 1 equals negative 5. Now, check this out. Anytime the absolute value is equal to negative 5, it can't happen, right? Because again, when you talk about the distance of a number from 0, you only count, you count, right? So like I said, I had negative 5 and 5 at the beginning. Its distance from 0 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You never count negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. So the solution can never be negative 5. So the answer here is no solution. It's not possible, right? So anytime you see it equal to negative 5, you don't have any math to do. It's no solution, okay? Let's look at a more complicated one. Let's put a number on the outside of the absolute value. Let me see if the book gives us a nice little example here. All right, let's rock with it. Let's look. Absolute value of 3x minus 3 is equal to 6, all right? So I like this one because there's two ways that you can solve this. You can first solve this by moving this 3 over, like dividing both sides by 3 and getting x minus 3 equals 2. Or you can distribute this through and solve for it that way. All right, let's look at the first one. All right, so the first thing we did was we divided both sides by 3. So we got rid of the number on the outside. So we got x minus 3 equals 2, absolute value, so we got to do it twice. So it'll be x minus 3 equals negative 2, okay? Let's do the math. Move that 3 over across the equal sign, right? So you're going to add 3. X is going to equal 5 here. Let's do it for this one. You're going to add 3 to both sides, plus 3. About x is going to equal 1 here, okay? So your solution is 5 and 1. Now let's go back to looking at this problem like so, okay? So what if we got this 3 on the outside minus the 3 times absolute value x minus 3 equals 6? All right, We could look at it like this. 3 times the quantity, x minus 3, equals positive 6. And 3 times the quantity, x minus 3, equals negative 6. All right? From here, let's do the math. The first thing you want to do is distribute. So we're going to have 3x minus 9 equals 6. And we're going to have, well, let's work this one out. 3x minus 9 equals 6, right? First things first, add 9 to both sides. Bop, bop. It's going to cancel. You end up with 3x equals 15. Divide both sides by 3. X equals 5. That look familiar? Yeah. Let's look at the other one. Distribute, distribute. 3x minus 9 equals negative 6, right? Add 9 to both sides. Minus 9, minus 9. You're going to get 3x equals 3. Divide both sides by 3. X equals 1. Again, 5 and 1 are your two solutions. Again, and then you could check it by substituting that number into here, both numbers into there, and doing the math. But what I wanted you to see here is there was 2 ways to solve this equation, right? You can solve it by distributing, or you can solve it by getting rid of this number on the outside, okay? So now, this right here is solving absolute value equations with one absolute value on one side. What if there's 2 absolute values? So what if it's an absolute value on the left side and the right side? Well, when that happens, you do the same math. All right, you do the same math. What's most important to remember is when you're solving absolute value equations, you have to solve 2 equations. Okay, so let's look at an example with an absolute value on both sides. Let's just look at it simply in a simple manner first. So the absolute value of 3x minus 4 equals the absolute value of x, right? That's your equation, okay? When you have this, you're gonna solve 2 equations again. So it's gonna be, 2 equations are gonna be, this side becomes positive and negative. That's it, every time, positive and negative. But on this side, only the absolute value term does become positive and negative. So here we got 3x minus 4 equals x, and 3x minus 4 equals negative x. You solve that, right? Now here, the like terms are the x term. So we're going to, let's move this 3x over, which means we got to subtract 3x from both sides. So we're going to get negative 4 equals 1 minus 3, which is going to be negative 2x. The x term is over here, which means we got to divide this number. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 2, x equals 2, right? Same thing over here. So again, we're going to move this 3x over here. So we're going to subtract 3x from both sides, minus 3x. These are both negative though, so same sign, add and keep, different sign, subtract. So you're going to get negative 4 equals negative 4x. 1 plus 3. Keep the negative sign, negative 4x. This is the x term, so you're going to divide this 4 to both sides, right? So then x equals 1. So your solution is going to be 2 and 1 here, okay? You ready for a complicated one? All right, let's make it more complicated, and then I'm gonna leave you be, right? Last call, the last one. What if you got something like, let's do this one. 3 times the absolute value of x minus 4 equals the absolute value of 2x plus 5, okay? Again, this side, this absolute value becomes positive and negative, okay? So let's set it up. It's gonna be 3x minus 4 equals, I'm sorry about the squeaks, 3x plus 5. That's one equation. The other equation is gonna be 3x minus 4 equals negative 2x plus 5. Negative, and I put this in parentheses because this whole term, this whole situation is negative. So you gotta distribute this negative sign through everything, okay? let's do the math. All right. Now, we're gonna move the x terms over here and the numbers over there. Let's step by step it though. First things first, let's move this 2x. Positive, so we gotta subtract it over, right? Bop, bop. This cancels, bring the 5 down. So you're gonna have 3 minus 2, it's gonna give you x minus 4 equals 5, right? Then we're gonna move this 4 over. Add 4 to both sides. X equals 9, right? Then we're gonna come over here. First things first, distribute this negative sign. So you're gonna end up with 3x minus 4 equals negative 2x minus 5. One thing we fail to do when we distribute is we leave out that second and third term. We didn't here though. We had to make this positive 5 and negative 5. Then we do the math, right? So it's negative 2x. We're gonna move it across this equal sign. So we're gonna add 2x to both sides, plus 2x. We're good so far? All right, those cancel. Same sign, you're gonna add. So it's gonna be 5x minus 4 equals negative 5, right? Then here we're gonna move this 4 over. So we're gonna bop plus 4 plus 4. You're gonna end up with 5x equals 1. Is that 1? Yeah, not just 1, negative 1. Okay? Negative 1. And now we gotta get the x by itself. This is the x term. Divide both sides by 5. X equals negative 1/5. So your solution is 9 and negative 1/5. Okay? So that is solving absolute value equations. The most important thing, like I said before, is when solving absolute value equations, you must solve twice, right? You gotta solve twice. You got 2 equations to work out. An equation equal to a positive number and an equation equal to a negative number. From there, you just follow your simple algebra skills that you've been learning over the last couple of years, all right? Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any more questions or any more problems that you would like me to work out relative to this topic, leave it in the comments below. Mr. Do the Math.